Now that we have the plant in the pot, all we need to do is create those fern leaves. I'm going to go to my top view, and I'm going to go to the Create menu in the hotbox, and I'm going to go to NURBS Primitives, and I'm going to choose a plane. Now once again, I've got the interactive drawing tool set so I can shape it the way I want. And I'm going to apply a texture to this. I'll right-click and choose Assign New Material. I'll choose a Lambert. First thing I will do is name that Fern Leaf. And I'll click on the checkerboard pattern at the end of the color slider bar. I'm going to go to File and Create Render Node. We've done this before. Now I've got an error message down here, and sometimes my adjust doesn't want to do it. So I'll simply close that out, and I'll go back to my Hypershade and select my node, Fern Leaf. And once again, I'll go back out to my file, and I'll get the image, fernleaf.png. I'll supply you with this file when I send you the link for the tutorial. And I'll hit open. And when I go to my viewport, you'll see that there's no background on this. And that's because the ping has an alpha channel. I'm going to go to my perspective view, and I'm going to start to put this into position. And I'm not going to do many of these because once you've got one down, you can do the rest on your own. So I want the pivot to be at the end of that fern pattern, so I'll hold down D, and I'll move it on the Z first, and then perhaps on the X, and that's going to let me put that into position at the top of this plant to begin it. So I'll rotate it, and I'm going to leave it at that angle, because now I want to right-click, go to Control Vertex. Just like the leaf we made for the pear and the apple, I'm going to go in and I'm going to start to edit this so it's got a bit of a contour that makes it look a little bit more natural. So I'll bow it a bit, Object Mode, and Save. Now we're going to color the stump and the pot. I'm right-clicking, Assign New Material. Once again, I'm going to use a Lambert. This will be stump. And you can choose the colors that you want. I'm going to go with a brown. Try to keep your values no darker than a middle value, because once we get into lighting, you'll see quite a difference when values are dark. Command S to save. And now we're going to do the flower pot, and we're going to do a two-tone arrangement on here, just like we did with our lamp. If you recall, we colored the base of the lamp one thing, separated out the bulb, and colored it differently. So I'm going to right-click with the whole bowl selected, Assign New Material, Lambert, and I'm going to choose a color that I'd like to use for that flower pot. And now I'm going to go to my perspective view, because the surface on the inside, I'm just going to color that a darker brown so it looks like there's dirt or soil in there. So I'm going to right-click, and I'm going to choose Face. Now, what I'm going to do before I do this is I'm going to move that tree stump out, because it's going to be easier to select those faces with this out of it. Now I'm ready to go in and right-click and choose Face. And what I'll do first is I'm going to go in and I'm going to shift select each of these sections in that middle circle. And I'll know they're all selected because they will be brown. Now, rather than have to click on all these manually, if I were to hold the Shift key now and click the close bracket for your HTML coding, that's the close bracket near the letter M on your keyboard, it will go out and select other sections, concentric rings of that surface. So once you've got what you want selected, you would right-click, choose Assign New Material. I'm going to go with a Lambert again, and I'm going to choose a dark brown. Back to my object mode. I'm going to reintroduce my stump. Put that like so. And the end result, something like this.